Morning, we're November 16th and this is a quick market update in the morning here in Asia. So interesting things happening in equities on Friday during the US session. I mean, pretty much equities globally actually are reaching pre-pandemic level, but then we saw the Russell 2000 and the S&P 500 reach new all-time highs, while the Nasdaq, which is more of a tech-heavy index, still went up but underperformed relatively. Because of course the real economy benefits from the advances in vaccines and gets people excited, whereas tech stocks, which are more for an at-home economy, aren't looking as attractive anymore. Away from that and towards Asia, actually, there's something big that happened on Sunday where 15 nations in Asia, including Australia and New Zealand, signed a free trade agreement, essentially reducing tariffs, strengthening supply chain agreements, codifying e-commerce rules, and so on. So that's going to be probably very supportive for that region as opposed to, or relative to the other nations globally. It's also worth noting that the agreement encompasses a third of the world's population and a third of the GDP, so it is pretty impactful. Away from traditional markets and onto crypto, so we had kind of a muddy price action where Bitcoin hit multi-year high at 16,480 and then dropped back down to 15,670 if I remember correctly, and then we recouped a little bit end of the session on Sunday, but still around 15,780 or 800 if I remember correctly, so we're still in the red but just not a massive drop either. Regarding Ethereum, so we reached key highs as well, so for this year, not multi-year high but September highs at 475 or 480, and then we dropped back down about 6%, so we're at 455 the last time I checked. And of course that's about Ethereum being a bit more volatile, but also an unplanned hard fork that happened slightly over the weekend. Other altcoins, I'll let you look at the specifics. Basically you can see newer coins and privacy coins dropping quite significantly, and then the larger cap altcoins, the older coins, still underperforming relative to Bitcoin and still in the red in USD terms, but holding a bit better basically. In terms of fundamental news in the crypto space, three things that are interesting. The eye-catching headlines about PayPal's volume reaching about 80% of Binance's volume over the first days that they've been offering crypto services. That's big, right? It means there's a real enthusiasm from consumers, but it also means it speaks about the size of the customer base, basically, of PayPal. And if all those guys start to look at crypto, it could have a very significant effect on Bitcoin or the crypto space as a whole. But there are two news that I thought were more interesting, a bit more subtle, but a bit bigger also on the long term. One is about Cynthia Loomis, so a crypto-friendly senator being interviewed on ABC, and they were asking her, do you know about Bitcoin, you own Bitcoin, do you plan on pushing that forward? And she's saying, we will definitely be talking about it, and I'll definitely try to make it part of the conversation. So that's going to probably wake up and stir up a lot of things in the US politics and US economics, and hopefully on a positive note for Bitcoin. And then the third thing is also about last week, China settling bonds in Bitcoin. And it doesn't sound like such a big deal, but I find it so interesting that such a big economy, a big country, would have a transaction that is Bitcoin based. And I think it sends a message to the world, but definitely to the rest of Asia, that this is a thing, this is happening, this is an alternative, a solution, and that they should be looking at it. That's it for me today. I wish you a great day and a great trading day.